What we thought would happen when we launched is we'd get a lot more podcasters signing up, and we'd also start getting advertisers because, what we thought at the time was that simply if you put something out there, the customers and the users will come. And the second we had it in any viable form, we contacted Michael Arrington at TechCrunch, and he wrote on it. And the quote that Michael Arrington said about our pricing was, "That's a hefty $250 CPM to the advertiser, which is way above what radio stations charge for ads." He was the first one to tell us that. We had no idea, and that's actually what he wrote in the blog post, so you can imagine what the response was from everyone after he wrote that. We did get some attention for a short amount of time, attention meaning lots of podcasters, but as we got into the business and tried to actually make them money by getting advertisers, we basically failed at that, and the model just wouldn't work, because if you just have a bunch of podcasters and their listeners using your platform, but you don't have these advertisers, and your whole proposition is we're going to make you money to the podcasters, they ended up leaving or not using our tools or products anymore, because we in the end couldn't make them money. So what basically eventually ended up happening is by October of 2006 we completely deadpooled the product, and it doesn't exist anymore, and it was a waste of a lot of time and effort. So one of the major hypotheses of Fruitcast was around the business model, and the assumption there was that advertisers would be willing to pay a certain CPM to basically purchase inventory on these podcasts. And that was something we just assumed along the way, and we didn't do enough validation around whether we were smoking crack or not on that assumption, and actually we were. And that was the biggest problem in that business, which is this key hypothesis we didn't even bother to rigorously validate before we started the business. So the biggest lesson learned here is that you want to know the type of business you're getting into before you get into it. We didn't fully understand what a marketplace meant. We also didn't understand the customer. We had no idea what advertisers were really into. So we could have literally gotten the same place that we did in 12 months by basically conducting customer interviews and surveys, and that would have only took about a week. And we would have validated a lot of our assumptions, or in this case, invalidated them within a week, and spending very little, if any, money to do that, versus spending 12 months and $45,000. So when thinking about starting a business, you're always going to have assumptions, and you might not even know what they are as you get into it, but it's really important to take a step back when you have an idea and write your assumptions down and be very rigorous about trying to test them and understand how customers react to them, so you can figure out whether you're moving in the right direction, or whether even your vision for this business is accurate based on those assumptions you have that are related to the end goal that you're going after. We all want to be successful. We all want to add value to the world. And by applying these principles, you're just more likely to do that. It's as simple as that. You're more likely to change the world.